Good evening, everybody. It is indeed almost 6 p.m., and now it is. It's good to have you all on board for this, the how, or the clinic session, if you like. It is Monday, the 15th of April, excuse me, and it's good to be back with you this week. Lots of things happening this week in the markets and for us. And we'll go through some today. I will be opening a news page in a moment. Or I'm opening it for me because there's a few bits coming up this week that we are interested in, and we should be. Rosa, it's good to see you on. Ludwig, hello, nice to have you here. Ben, Brent, thank you all for joining me. I have something planned for you today. It's kind of an in honour session, if you know what I mean. Well, you perhaps don't. But anyway, let me get there. You may or you may not know that I'm a big fan of a TV show called The Apprentice. It is a BBC programme, and Lord Sugar doesn't present, he hosts it, and he seeks a new business partner each time. And the week just gone, the week just gone was the interview week, where they're down to the final five. And instead of a double firing, or a single indeed, it's a triple firing, because 3 of the candidates are let go. It is, of course, one of my favourite weeks, or if you like, episodes in the stages of the process. And I shall tell you why. The business plan. The candidates are tasked with presenting their business plan to several of Lord Sugar's most trusted advisors, who then shred the damn thing, and rightly so. Some of the claims on there. One candidate who I had as a favourite, if you are, Damon watches it there, great programme, my favourite, says, so Flo, I had her down as a favourite, and she's got this business plan, and it's a recruitment business. Now, Lord Sugar has invested in several of those already, so it's obviously barking up exactly the right tree, because that's the thing he'll go for. But she had her salaries cost in the first year at £712,000. He's only going to invest £250,000. She's going to be bankrupt. She runs out of money after month 4. And this is a clever and sensible candidate. This is someone that early on in the process, Lord Sugar said, we should have got you negotiating Brexit. So there you go. And Damon says, and me, her figures were what they were. Her figures were outlandish. How is that relevant to us? Well, the business plan and making it work for you. I also did Damon. I really thought she had a good shot at it. The Pie Man was also up there for me, so it's nice to know that Phil, the Pie Man, is there in the final. Now, I was disappointed to know he hasn't looked at his business plan, or indeed his books, in 6 months. Oh my word, I pretty much check my business plan like 3 times a week, and that includes the books. And that should tell you a lot about me. Do I have my finger on the pulse? You bet your sweet nuts I do. I absolutely do. And remember, yes, I'm a trader, but I have a trader business plan, and I'm a coach, and I have a business plan for the coaching side of things too. And then there's a separate and an all consolidated and separate set of reports that I run for me, to have my finger on the pulse, to know where I am and where I'm going, and is it in the right direction. So the business plan and making it work for you. First, what distinguishes a great business plan from a mediocre one? Well, a great business plan will tell you why a service or a product is different to or better than anything else available. It will tell you why you are better than anything else available, because your business plan is about you. A good business plan should be able to be summarized in 2 or 3 sentences. I would suggest 3 or 4 line paragraphs, and 3 of them, and you're done. Bad business plans are the ones where it's obvious that the entrepreneur or the trader has not thought deeply enough about their purpose, their direction, their goals, perhaps even, perhaps even their ability to follow the rules of their daily trading plan. Because the daily trading plan and the business plan, they're very, very different. What specific qualities or traits do we look for when drilling down in this part of the process? Well, we're looking for a feet on the ground real a lot of the time, and what we want to see is that your aspirations, the numbers that you enter onto your business plan, and let's open one here for everybody, the details that you put on your business plan, they're real. You can't put in there, I'm going to trade profitably and successfully for a period of time not less than 3 months and then expect to be a millionaire after that. So you have to figure out, how much do I want, and then divide it, not proportionally. It's not going to be equal every single year, because as you increase your stake in line with the Gates system, so the latter years are going to be more heavily loaded than the early years. Maybe in the early years you only break even year one, because you will have some losses, so maybe year one doesn't cost you any money, and year two, if you ain't making money, especially following my processes, realistically by month 4, I would like you to have a 3-month honeymoon period, but you better be taking it seriously. If you're dabbling or if you're giving it a go, it's going to show in the difference between what your results should be versus what they are. Well, I said I'm going to trade from 8 till 10 every day, and then I start at 7. Well, you haven't factored in that, so you probably haven't back tested that hour. Or I only start at 9. Okay, well, you've missed the hour that you've back tested. It better be detailed, and it better be right, as in, yeah, I planned to do that, so it does fit into my business plan. And you will work to the daily plan down here, you see, and repeat each day as written in the daily trading plan. If yours, like mine, says, oh, don't work Fridays, then best you not sit down at a chart on a Friday. I don't trade Mondays. Best I not see a journal that says there are trades on the Monday, because you haven't tested those days. That's it. It's not in your plan. If it's not in the plan, don't be a D1CK for a tick. That's the right things. So yeah, we're looking for a feet on the ground real a lot of the time. Deliberately putting ourselves under constructive pressure. We need to see that we respond well to the difficult challenges of remaining disciplined. But stand up for your business plan ideals. Absolutely. This is what I want to achieve. This is by when I want to achieve it. So get on with it and do it properly. The key decisions here are about your strategy. If you want to change it, you got to back test it, and not for the lousy 30 seconds neither. I want to know that you've tested it and you know that your changes or your new strategy works. Not just, well, you introduced it, so I thought it was the best thing since sliced bread and I fired away and lost all my money. You didn't test it, no. Because maybe that one wasn't designed for you. Maybe it was designed for someone else. Maybe it's too complicated. Maybe it's too simple. But I know Damon uses a simple one and is battered in it. It suits him. Everybody is different. You have to do what suits you. But I do have the strategy that will suit you if you give us the chance to show you. You manage your trade using trailing and managed stops in order to maximize profit in accordance with the trading plan. All of this stuff you can edit to suit yourself, but they are your key decisions and your strategic planning stage that will impact the financial model to come. And we'll look at that in a moment. The most common mistake candidates make when facing this task, well, what is it? Well, generally, and it shows there in the Apprentice, they don't know their business plans as well as they should. I would spend several days if I was you, in advance of the implementation, reading and researching the business plan. So when we try and make something up or force fit an issue, it will always catch us out. And that said, it's along the lines of, well, I'm never going to trade the open because I always get caught out when I trade the open. That's something I hear from people. And then it states that in their business plan, I'm not going to trade their open. But in their journal, there are trades taken at the open, and then you ask about it, and they say, oh, well, I wouldn't do that on my real account. What, is this a demo then? No, it's just a little small one I have on the side. What the fuck are you on about then? That's a real account. It's real money. Are you taking the mickey here? That is not real. You've got to be real, feet on the ground, real. If somebody walked into a boardroom or an interview process and presented that to me, the business plan must match the journal. The journal must match the daily trading plan. All three tie together beautifully. And if they don't, it will always catch us out. What do we think traders can learn from the business planning process? It's important here to share or voice your business ideas with others, perhaps your wife, perhaps your husband, perhaps someone that you trust as an advisor. And maybe it's only with yourself, maybe it's with me. Indeed, and you're welcome to in one of your one-to-one sessions with me, but don't waste it. If you come on and you haven't done your own research first, you're only going to, rattle me cage. In fact, there have been times when it felt like someone took the tire out of it and left me peeved. Anyway, it's important to share or voice your business ideas with others for constructive criticism, enhancing your business plan's strength. Hesitation to seek feedback can hinder growth. Now, I'd like to name, but I won't. There's a gentleman who uses, so he'll know who he is, the buy it, sell it, the very simple BISI, and he loves it. He sought advice. He sought honest feedback, and he got it. And I firmly believe that the gentleman is doing well. He keeps sending me great updates. I haven't had a bad one, so I'm hoping that's because it's still going great. But, you know, I accept occasionally you can fall off the wagon. Give me a shout and let me help you get back on, you know. Preparing for this very personal investment in yourself requires honesty and thorough preparation. Fabrication leads to consequences, serious and potentially life-changing, not for the better, consequences. A business plan is essentially a narrative connecting your motivations with the market opportunities that we see here in a compelling manner. Let's look at some of these income values. Look, year one, pip count, 8,000 pips. It's 200 pips a week is what it is. 40 pips per day, 5 days a week, if that's what you do, and that's what it can generate. And then an average of 10 euro, dollar, pounds per pip can yield for you 80,000 euros, dollars, or pounds. And note how I expect you to do better year after year. Now, if we look at 24,000 pips for a moment in year 5, and let's just for a moment look at, our live webinar trades. We're up to something like 7,600 and we're in April. So January, February, March, April. We're going to say that a third of the year is gone. If we times 7 by 3, another 3, 21 plus it's 28. We could be on 28,000 pips by the end of the year. So it's not impossible, it's not ridiculous, and I accept not everybody follows every single trade. I absolutely am happy to admit I didn't get every single one of those pips, but if we mention them, that's doable. There's people like Shane who trade the Dow, and we missed a couple because he left early, but still the pips were there because we said that's valid once it crosses that line. We're gonna, and whether it's long or short, we're talking about those moves. Everybody is well able to take advantage of those and take those pips. So that isn't ridiculous. We're already there for this year. We're on target for that this year. These, it's quite conservative if you factor in the Gates system. Does it need to be so conservative? Well, yeah, because none of what I teach or preach is meant to be a get-rich-quick scheme. It is meant to be, yes, get wealthy, get comfortable, but comfortably, sensibly, so that it don't hit you in the nads overnight and you suddenly think, oh, I got all this money, what am I going to do? I want you to grow into this. I want this process to grow with you and you to grow with the process. So these would be like a forecasted projection. And then the profit and loss here, well, then you can take year one and add whatever your pips are here into your other income and any regular salary, so that you know how you're doing. You know what your, like some people call a mortgage, a bond. It's what you pay if you owe something on a house that you're buying. You could change that to rent if you're only renting, but you still got to insure the place. And maybe there's life insurance and pensions and heating costs and things like that. All of those things can be factored in so that you know what it costs you to live on a daily, weekly, monthly, yearly basis. It's important to know. It's important to have that information to hand. If you think I don't know what it costs me, you'd be very, very wrong. I do. On a daily, weekly, monthly basis, I know what's coming out. So I know what's got to be there to cover that. It's there, that's okay. But you need to do it for yourself, for you to match your numbers. And maybe when that number is 2 or 3 times those numbers, it's time to quit one of them and put some more time into this one. That's up to you. Over here we've got the monthly accounts where you can break it down over the months. What does it cost me to live in January and February? What month are we in now? April. What's it going to cost me to live in April? And I have something else in there, travel, because I think you all know I've been away a bit already. And yeah, I like to get away and have holidays and breaks. There's a specific line for it. Travel and travel insurance, I think it's titled. I'm not sure, but it's in there. There's nothing stopping you from inserting a line and cracking on with editing whatever you like. It works, It's absolutely adjustable to suit your needs. But it's something that you need to do for you, or it won't work. If I do it for you, it's not going to work. Yes, I can help you, I can give you some guidance, but I firmly believe if I'd have sat there with the candidates in the last 5 interview process and presented my business plan, I don't believe any of the interviewers would have had cause to complain. They might be outlandishly surprised or disappointed that they spend so many hours working when they could perhaps trade for 2 hours a day, 3 days a week, and do very little else. It's a choice. It's everybody's choice to make. But if you don't dabble, if you don't give it a go, if you do it properly and don't skip bits, then these numbers, if we have a look at this income values here, these numbers, they're not outlandish at all. In fairness, one of my students achieved about that in year 1. Some of my students have achieved that in 2 or 3 weeks. It varies from student to student depending on your attention to detail. And if we go back to there, look, focus, action does equal results. But you must focus. You really must. And yeah, sometimes I'm guilty of saying trading is easy. And recently I said, perhaps I shouldn't say that it's easy. Perhaps I should say that you have to, focus, concentrate, do it properly and don't skip bits. And above all, be disciplined. That matters. It matters lots. So there you go. That was all about the business plan. I'm happy to end the recording here. We are about 19 minutes in by the time we get to the end of it. It's 18 and a half for now. But once I do the sort of extroductions, as in, the end of the intro, well, I don't think that's a word, but I think you know what I mean. We'll all be ready for the week ahead, won't we? So I'll say, please trade safe, everybody, and I look forward to seeing you in the sessions through the week. And thank you all for joining me. End of recording. Bye-bye.